what have we created here, Lindy, that people are calling and talking about? I have had an experience with a violent goat. We're responsible for what we've put out into this world, you know?
You're saying it in a tone that feels negative. I've never been happier in my life.
Hello.
Goo gaga.
Two babies enter a room. They grab a microphone. They hit record. The podcast is Text Me Back. Recorded by two babies.
The babies are Lindy and Meagan.
The babies are two 44-year-old women who were just born. Meagan Hatcher-Mays.
And Lindy West.
That's
Meagan,
her name.
You look beautiful today.
Thanks. I really feel like I put on too much makeup. I feel like I'm going makeup crazy.
That's fun, first of all. And second of all, no. You look great. You look great.
Thanks.
You're camera ready. Meanwhile,
Hamara.
I rolled out of bed. Then I had to clean my house for 2 hours because we're having guests. Then I start doing yard work. I'm sweating. I'm wearing my daddy's little meatball shirt. I stink. My hair is wet from the sweat of my head.
I don't like that. Did Lindy wash these guys? No, girl.
Then I had to come straight on camera.
Camera. Well, today's Friday, where we are, Friday, July 3rd. We were going to record yesterday, but then Lindy had to go to Costco.
Yeah.
I had a full face of Shelby face on, and I said, that's okay. Then today I was like, God, I don't know if I want to do that all again today. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna, and maybe I'll try to do something different with my eyeball. And so that's what I did. You know, every day you're not always blessed by the eyeliner gods. And today was one of those days. I was forsaken by capital HIM. But still, we're pulling it off maybe a little bit. It might be a little heavy-handed, but we're having a nice time. And that's what makeup is all about.
I think it's funny to hear you say that because you look gorgeous.
Thanks. I'm fishing for compliments.
Yeah. I did go to Costco, Meagan, and guess what? It was fun. And
great.
I bought so many things that were so smart of me to buy. I was a shopping machine. I was a wholesale queen. And then I let myself be talked into upgrading to the executive membership.
They got you.
They got me. They
got your ass. Some friends of mine here in DC and I will go on a little trip into the woods. We'll disappear into the woods. And boy, do I wish I had chosen this weekend of all weekends to go hide somewhere, because America's 250th is tomorrow, our sesquicentennial, if you will. And I don't know what to expect. I was really freaked out when he had that like psychotic military parade last year. Like I was really scared and that it was going to be like another January 6th. And then like 7 guys came.
Yeah.
And it was like the sound of like basketball sneakers on an empty court, like squicka, squicka, squicka. Like that. Like that's what our military parade sounded like.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if it's going to be like that again, but here's what I do know. Lindifer, they're doing a fucking, oh my God, dude. Tomorrow on the 4th of July, they are doing flyovers of military jets, different military jets from all branches of the military from 1 p.m. to 10:30 at night. 9.5 hours of flyovers, bro. And you know what? It's even worse than it sounds because, of course, you can't just wake up on Saturday morning and do 9 hours of flyovers. You got to practice first. So today they're practicing. So it's 2 days. It's like 18 hours of military flyovers. And for what? 17 people from South Carolina in Collars & Co. dry wicking polo shirts?
If you must do it, You might as well commit and do 250 hours of it.
Do 250 hours of Blue Angels if you're brave enough.
If you really cared about America. Something to think about.
The point of that was we go to Costco before we go out to the woods. And we buy a lot of food because there's like 6 of us. And the last time we went, we had like the cart was overflowing, and the Costco lady was like, I'm going to get these hoes. I'm going to give them an offer so good about the executive upgrade. They're not going to be able to refuse me. And she comes up and goes, ladies, if you're shopping like this every week, it's really in your best interest to upgrade to the executive membership. And I was like, ma'am, as much as I would love to disappear into the woods every 7 days with my 5 favorite people, I am not shopping like this every week. We spent like $1,000 on popcorn. And she was like, you could be getting a big time rebate, ma'am.
So I spent $527. And like $100 of that was just beef. But we're having people out for the weekend. Also haven't been to Costco in a long time, so we had to get staples. I got a 25-pound bag of rice,
nice,
etc. The same thing. Hey, well, if you're shopping like this, first of all they act like not very many people come through the line and spend that much. It's like
that's every purchase at this fucking place.
Like, at this point, I struggle to believe that. So if you're an executive member, you get to go an hour early.
Yeah,
like,
come on.
The first hour. No way that's not more crowded than...
I know. Come on, please.
Okay, she gives me the spiel. She's like, we don't work on commission. I don't get anything if you sign up. I love it. And I get so much back and my rebate and whatever. And she was like, we can just look it up right now and I can tell you if you spend enough to make it worth it. And I was like, Sure, fine. Even though I know I've done this before. This is not even the first. Like we did the math. I did the math with the lady last time, and I was like, it doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah.
So she gets another little guy to come take me away to a secret area. My items. I'm already like, Jesus Christ. I thought you could just tappity tap and just tell me and be like, worth it or not worth it. No. Okay. I have to go with Jim. So then this guy, and everyone's really nice. I'm not complaining.
Just really quickly. I love Costco.
I love
so
Costco.
Much. Please don't take anything we're saying as any sort of derogatory statement toward the good people of Kirkland or their signature company, Costco. Okay? Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it.
That's right. Thank you for clarifying that, Meagan. Really important. So he looks it up, and I share an account with my mom. He looks it up. He goes, okay, it looks like you spent $3,800 last year. Mm-hmm. So that sort of just gets you over, where you start to get a rebate. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but what's my rebate? $2? Like, because basically it's like you pay a higher premium.
Yeah. It's like $150 or something.
Yeah, $135 or something. Yeah, a year. And then you get like 2% rebate, and you get to go in an hour early. So basically, they were saying the cutoff is like $3,000 a year. That's where you are making back your $130.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I would have made 2% of $800 last year, which I don't know what that is, but not very much.
$40.
Right.
And
so to me, I'm like, and they're like, yeah, when we just send you a check, and all the employees are like, I get so much in my rebate. It's like, yeah, you probably
shit. Carol, you're there all the time.
I live an hour away from Costco. But then I'm like, well, actually, if I really think about it, and I'm sure this is how they get you. I'm not special. I don't know why I'm acting like this is my genius logic. But I was like, I don't go to Costco very often. And instead, I drive half an hour to QFC and I spend $200 on 8 items. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if there was some incentive to go to
Maybe
Costco
you would
more,
go to
maybe I would
Costco
go
more.
more,
Yeah.
and then the rebate will get higher. And then, the other way they really get you is they say, if you end up not getting a rebate, we refund your higher membership fee.
Oh, well.
So I
Sounds
was like,
it pays for itself, big dog.
they really got me with the, like, there's really no risk. You might as well just see if you get some money
It's
back.
all reward.
So, Megan, if you see me walking around with a spring in my step, just know there's an extra 40 bones in my pocket.
She's an executive.
That's right.
Oh, they heard. Oh, is that BBW walking through the door?
I
bet that freaking businesswoman could use some executive benefits.
I got you some egg bites, though.
Oh, good. Yay. Because I'm going to be there next weekend if you're listening to this Thursday, July 9th, I'm in a hotel. But if you're listening to this on Friday, July 10th, I'm in the woods.
It's really important that we clarified that.
Yeah. If you're interested in tracking my movements, here's how it's done. Anyway, welcome to Text Me Back podcast. We have a great show for you today. We have a fucking segment called TikTok Digest. I remembered TikTok Digest, and we took a vote, and many people voted for TikTok Digest : religious psychosis. So we're going to talk about that. Sorry to the marbles people, but who knows? We might get into it one day.
Let me know. I mean,
who could say?
Let me tell you, I'm one of them, and I'm upset.
Baby, I'm trying to get involved with those marbles.
And honestly, I think this was a rigged election. I saw many votes for marbles.
Many votes for marbles. Who knows?
In some of the highest numbers we've ever seen. You're not going to believe the numbers they got for marbles.
They're saying it's voter fraud. Mm-hmm. They're saying that we need to seize the machines. Mm-hmm. We need to stop the steal. Okay.
Hanging the Chad.
Okay, the Chad is hanging. The Chad is pregnant. Then we're going to end the show with a new segment we're calling Agatha Christie. But first, we have a goat update.
It's a banger of a show. I know we haven't done it yet, but we got some stuff in store for you this episode that I don't think you're ready for.
Potentially building it up too much. Anyway, but first, piss freaks, goats.
Update.
Take it away.
Last week we talked about the piss freak goats that were released in Olympic National Park in the 1920s by bloodthirsty hunters who needed to get their jollies. It wasn't enough to hunt the elk and the bears and the deers.
And what were those owls that everyone was so upset about?
The spotted owl.
Spotted owl.
And
do you remember that George Bush 1 came to Washington, and the state of Washington, and was like, I think it's time we say how we feel, which is I care more about people than I do about owls. I just remember I think I was like maybe 8 or 9. I remember seeing that on like King 5 and being like, I don't think I agree. like I think I definitely care more about the owls. I'm so sorry to the people involved,
also,
but man,
it's not a 1-to-1 comparison because
the
owls are dying. The people
are bad behavior.
The people just have to get a different job. And I know that's traumatic for an industry to die.
Still,
but, also, president, I call him president.
Mm-hmm.
It's your job to take care of the people.
Yeah. So also, it was this kind of like a false dichotomy anyways, because the issue was that they were cutting down the old growth trees, which is the habitat of the spotted owl. There's only so much old growth you could cut down, even if you wanted to, which I don't. I don't want you to do that. But like the industry was going to pass away regardless. Either way, so you might as well just stop endangering a whole species. I don't know, maybe we could do some job training or something.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
We keep the owls. You figure out what the fuck to do with the loggers, George.
Keep me posted. I care more about loggers than I do about owls. And I said, decidedly not me. I'm only 9, but I don't agree with that at all.
Do you know there's something else going on now? And boy, do I not have enough information to talk authoritatively about this. But my understanding is that the barred owl, which we also have here, is there's so many of them that they're like encroaching on the spotted owl. The spotted owl is in peril yet again.
Oh my God, what? Leave her alone.
Everyone is up her fucking ass. Leave her
Jesus.
be. And so now they want to cull the barred owl population.
Oh.
Parentheses owl massacre.
Well, we might have a new method for how to do that, which brings us back to
right.
Piss Freaks, goats, update.
Yes. So last week we talked about how in the 1920s, a bunch of mountain goats were introduced to the Olympic National Park, which is not where they're from, and they don't belong there. And they couldn't get enough salt. And so they started chasing.
They opened a Margaritaville.
That's
Sorry.
Right. They started chasing hikers and backpackers to steal their urine.
Yes.
Drink it. Okay.
Because I guess human piss is chock full of electrolytes or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a good thing they didn't learn about human blood, because as they say, it's as salty as the sea.
Well, that one goat did learn about human blood.
And ultimately, a man was killed by a goat, a piss freak urine hunting goat. So then they blindfolded and airlifted a bunch of the goats, hundreds of the goats, back to the North Cascades where they belong. The rest were shot.
The rest were executed and dumped into a mass grave.
Yes. And then, so here's our first goat update. We have been informed that
By
almost
multiple listeners.
People were on this story.
Yeah, they were like, excuse me,
which maybe is understandable because it's from 8 years ago. But it was new to us, and so that makes it normal news. But yeah, apparently the majority of the goats that were airlifted to the North Cascades also perished because they were not accustomed to the high density of predators, I guess, in the Cascades.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference is between the predators in the Olympics and the Cascades, but they say the goats were not ready for what the Cascades had to offer. That's what they say.
So they kicked it.
They weren't prepared for that.
Yeah, and they are in heaven now.
They went on to glory, and we praise their names. They were called home.
I was thinking about this, Megan, and that's like really sad, and I hate that the goats died. But then I thought to myself, well, all goats do. So
I hadn't heard that all that all goats die. I mean, it's very sad. I mean, it's just like classic human intervention. We always ruin it, don't we? Like, there's just no way to undo the damage that we cause in any sort of way that is humane to the species we've caused it to. It feels, Do
you think that these goats, they get dropped off by the helicopter in Twisp or whatever? They look around, they see, I guess, whatever like juiced up cougars they've got over there. And they say, I'd rather be shot.
Why wouldn't you just shoot me?
Now I gotta run away from this
thing? Honestly, even with this Supreme Court, I feel like we've got an 8th Amendment violation brewing here. This is cruel and unusual because the other goats, it was simple, it was elegant. These guys, I don't know. I think it's pretty unusual.
It's like a Hunger Games situation.
Yeah, it was like it's like they lifted they just put them in the elevator, and the one goat was like, Lenny Kravitz, no, don't send me up there. And then the countdown happened. One of the goats tried to run for a harpoon. He got immediately. It was sad. So he ran straight for the cornucopia, and it was full of cougars.
So, okay, so that's update 1. All the goats are gone.
And honestly, rest in power. I'm so sorry that happened. Even though I think you guys might be evil. You hate to see a diva go down like that is all,
I really do hate it. I don't like it at all, Megan. But okay, we got many, many voicemails about this. We're going to play a few right now. And in this first voicemail, I think it's very interesting. And it introduces a new element to the story that I found quite troubling. So, okay, here we go.
Hello. I have had multiple encounters with piss freak goats in Western Washington. I hiked the same trail where the gentleman was killed a few years after that happened, but before they removed the goats. And it's a ridge that normally has spectacular views, but on this particular day, it was really foggy and you could only see 10 to 15 feet. And every so often, just at the edge of visibility in the mist, a goat would appear. And it was very much like that Stephen King movie, The Mist. It was terrifying. I am also realizing that I'm the person that called you about the sandbar cult man. And so now I'm really examining my life and my choices, and what am I doing that my existence is so scary. But I survived that encounter. And now that the goats are gone, I want to let you know that there are still piss freaks up there in Olympic National Park. I was backpacking up there like 2 weeks ago. And in my campsite, there was this deer who every time I took a pee was standing right there, literally licking her chops. It was very disturbing. So thank you very much for bringing this important information to the listeners.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You need to develop a survival instinct, babe. What are you doing? The edge of visibility, there was a goat. My God. Now you say the deer are involved.
Yeah, this is what I want to talk about. So, I'm sorry. The deer are also chasing the hikers for their piss?
Demanding piss?
And yet, the goats alone were profiled and sentenced to death?
Singled out by the state and eliminated?
Interesting. Now, why is that?
Racism? In my national parks? And they say park rangers aren't cops. I don't know.
Let's see. And this happened in 2018, so that was Trump's America.
So, although I bet Joe Biden would have really enjoyed taking out some goats too. I don't know. It just seems like the type. Yeah. Why are the deer in it? What's their problem?
Aren't they evolved to get their minerals from something else?
Wherever the water comes from?
Whatever the fuck they...
What's in the water?
Just water, I think. Go down to the... You're right by the ocean. Just walk down to the coast and... someone also emailed and they were like, could they not have just set up some salt licks for the goats? Although I will say, when I was a kid, we got a salt lick out here at the cabin and the deer took it down in 30 minutes.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, so what you're saying is we don't have enough taxpayer dollars to support the absolute amount of salt.
I think that's right. But we do have enough taxpayer urine.
Yes.
If the government wasn't biased against innocent goats.
What do deer have going on that the goats don't? What sort of deal do they have set up with the government?
Maybe it was like a 3 strikes law where the deer haven't killed anybody yet. And the goats, or a 1 strike law, I guess. No tolerance, 0 tolerance. Okay, but that's not all. We also got a voicemail about general goat behavior and whether or not goats are evil that I thought was really insightful. So here we go.
Hey guys, this is Krista from Enumclaw, and I just listened to your episode about the goats, the urine-addicted goats, and I kind of remember when this happened, but I didn't get the follow-up from 8 years later. But I don't have an experience of when I was attacked for my urine or sweat in the National Park of Olympic, but on my very own property, we do have goats. 4 of them are goats that we got from a special goat breeder. They're sweet little pets, and 1 is a rescue. And that one, her name is Janice, and Janice has horns. Janice because she's the only horned goat, she's a fucking bully. She horns the other goats and, you know, gets first dibs at all the food. And when I go into Guantanamo Bay to hang out with the goats, sometimes she's sweet and kind, and sometimes she comes at me with her fucking horns. And I can tell you that getting gored by a goat, I can imagine, was a horrible, horrible death for that poor hiker. And Janice has come close to causing severe damage to my own thigh, but just getting rammed into by a goat with horns, it leaves a mark. And they can be very aggressive with their horns. They also like to knock down toddlers with those heads, and that's a super funny one. Anyway, that's my goat story. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Just hang on. Can I just share a meta reflection? What have we created here, Lindy, that people are calling and talking about? I have had an experience with a violent goat. We're responsible for what we've put out into this world, you know?
You're saying it in a tone that feels negative. I've never been happier in my life. We just got another one. A new one just came into the email while we were listening to that one.
I knew that if we put out the call, that this podcast in particular would have goat victims among our listenership for sure. Here's what I was going to say. Janice, first of all, what a name for a goat.
Yeah.
You ate with that one. That's really good. And I also would like to say, Janice, to hear you talk about Janice, it evokes a memory of another small horned beast that I know named Kevin, who has just spent the last 7 minutes interrupting this podcast with his screams. I just feel like I would like for Kevin and Janice to meet. Who would win, do we think? Probably Janice. But wouldn't that be so interesting to see Kevin try to give it a shot, you know?
If Kevin is Satan, Janice Janice might be his minion, you know?
Yeah, we don't know. I can't believe that you invited Janice into your home, and it sounds like you take very good care of her and all of her friends. And Janice said, fuck yo snacks, and just started like bullying you and has caused you some sort of physical harm. Although I stand that when you got to the part of the story where Janice knocks over children, you went, that's pretty funny. I agree. I laughed.
It's amazing what human beings do. The idea that we keep as a beloved pet an animal that routinely gores us. Crazy stuff.
Can I ask, like, what's the benefit of having a goat? Like, do they...
I think you
what
milk
what is
them?
that for? You just are like, I just like goats?
No, you milk them.
Milk?
That's where... Do you know where milk comes from, Megan?
Comes people from drink goat's milk?
Yeah. Hell
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
People who are intolerant of cow's milk, they'll drink a goat's milk. I mean, you like a goat's cheese, don't you?
Well, sure, but that's a couple steps removed.
Well, maybe
from,
that's
from the udder.
But you have to get it out of the udder first.
I don't know. Right back in. Call us again. What is up with that? What are you doing with that goat? That's why she's so upset. She's like, what do you need this for?
Why am I here?
Why am I here? Leave me alone. My God. Maybe I'm sensitive because I just went to the doctor myself yesterday and I got poked and prodded and I said, no.
It's possible that you can make goat's cheese with the milk still inside of the goat, but I don't know if you can do it without harming the goat.
Maybe they deserve it. I mean, maybe that's what we're learning is that goats deserve to be punished. Maybe they are evil. They do have cloven hooves like Beelzebub.
Well, now you're getting into religious psychosis, Megan, and we're not there yet. Okay. So. Now, this is breaking news. This voicemail came in as we were listening to the voicemail about Janice. Yet another goat story. This one from the opposite coast. So this is happening all across our nation.
It's a scourge in this, our 250th year of existence of this great nation, the goats. Did Thomas Jefferson teach us nothing? about the proliferation of goats?
Hi, Megan and Lindy. This is Rosie calling from Oakland, California. As much as a voice memo girly as I am, I'm kind of nervous to leave this voicemail because I can't stop it after I fumble with my words and then restart it. So I'm kind of terrified right now. But I just quickly wanted to share that I had a salt-licking fiend experience with a goat way back in high school when I lived in rural Virginia. My friend and I hiked a mountain, and we saw this animal stalking us from like a few hundred feet away, and we just kept hiking and hiking and getting more and more nervous and giggly and trying to take photos of it. And then I got closer and we realized it was a goat, and we were delighted but scared at the same time, and got more and more delighted and more scared as it got closer, and finally it caught up to us, and it had a little collar on, and then it was sweet, but it really just wanted to lick our calves, which was like adorable it was terrifying the first 2 seconds, adorable the next 20 seconds, and then kind of gross and like freaky after those 23 seconds. So that's my story. Thank you for listening. Big fan of the show. Keep doing what you're doing. Love ya.
So what I'm hearing, Megan,
Girl,
is that coast to coast, the goats are not only licking and goring, they're also stalking. They're stalking women in the wilderness.
And they're licking. What do you mean it was wearing a collar? This was like some sort of domesticated...
Like a fetish
freak.
collar?
Yeah, like... What? I just feel like this is an alarming piece of information. The goats are forcing us to be involved in their kinks against our will.
Yeah.
They're stalking the people. They're licking the people. They're goring the people.
What's next?
You know, I'm a famous lover of animals, but more and more I'm thinking, maybe we should be executing more goats and dumping them in a hole. You know what I'm saying? Because that's crazy. Also, what do you mean you saw an animal following you and you said, oh, how cute? Not a one person who listens to this podcast has a survival instinct. Not a one of you.
They're wandering around in the mist.
What are you doing out there? What are you doing out there?
Megan, you know, you're not that far from rural Virginia.
I don't. I mean, I almost hit a deer on my Vespa, actually. I was I was riding through Rock Creek Park, which is the park that has the overpopulation of deer. This business with the trying to give them birth control has been going on for a long time, and it doesn't really work. The Park Service has shot some of them. Anyway, I was scooting through the park on my Vespa, may she rest in peace. And a deer just, you know, they say you don't hit you told me this. You don't hit a deer, the deer hits you. That's what it was like. They apparate in front of you. And so I was like, I had to slam on my little handbrake. Oh, fortunately, I stopped in time because I think the deer probably would have been fine, but I'd be dead for sure.
Yeah. You'd be in heaven having a jam session with the mountain goats.
With the mountain goats.
Not the band.
I'm going hungry. Yeah, I should have sung a mountain goat song. I am going to make it through this year if it kills me. And then we look at each other and laugh because we're all dead.
And then the goat says, you got any piss?
And then I say, I'm actually in hell. And it makes sense that you guys would have been sent here. I don't know why I thought this was heaven. Anyway, you listeners of Text Me Back podcast, get a grip.
Yeah.
God.
Go inside. Come on.
You need to wear long pants when you're outside anyways. There's so many ticks. Jesus.
Okay, I've got 2 more voicemails, and they're both from special friends of the show, so get excited. This first one tells us that not only do these piss freak sweat-licking goats stretch far and wide through space, from Seattle to Virginia and back.
Oh, I thought you meant like outer space.
Who knows?
We don't know yet.
Where is heaven located? I don't know.
Only the Mormons know that for sure.
But they also This behavior also stretches back through time.
Ooh,
Okay.
I
Here's
see.
a hot piece of evidence, courtesy of my mother.
Ingrid.
Hey, so my friend Riley, it must have been in the mid-70s, was like hiking in the high country near Hurricane Ridge, and he came down after a long, hot, sweaty day, and this goat came up to him, and he thought, well, that's cool. So he held out his hand, and the goat licked his hand, and then here comes another one, and he thought, oh, wow. Pretty soon he was surrounded by goats, and they were licking him all over, and he couldn't get, the only way he could get away from them was he had to jump in this ice-cold mountain pond. So that's my goat story. All right, bye.
Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you, Ingrid. You see, once again, people are being approached effectively by wild animals and thinking this is cute. This is the Disneyfication of nature. If you see an animal outside, get away from it. I don't care what kind of animal it is. They have nefarious purpose.
They literally have killed, and they'll kill again to get what they need.
We've seen what they're capable of. Okay.
It's not
God,
pretty.
Riley, Jesus.
And our final goat story comes to us via the first person I reached out to about this, who, of course, immediately had much to say.
Oh, yes. And pictures to back it up. Yeah.
Pictures to back it up. A beautiful photograph. This is from Tyler the Wizard, who immediately sent me a gorgeous, probably a film photograph that he took on a mountaineering expedition of a majestic mountain goat with a beautiful mountain range in the background standing on a rock. And he said, this goat drank my piss. So I asked for some more details in a voicemail, and I have not listened to this yet, so I don't know what's in there. We'll see.
Exciting.
Hello, Megan and Lindo. This is the Wizard calling to tell a little story about mountain goats and one of my favorite bodily functions, peeing. But once upon a time, I was on a backpacking trip in the Enchantments. Quite a exciting place in Washington State, very high elevation, kind of like a little slice of the Sierra Nevada up here in Washington. And got up there, difficult to get to my campsite, ate some food, fell asleep in my little bivy sack, and woke up the next morning above tree line. And it was time to do, the business, one of the least exciting parts of backpacking. So I kind of dropped down to find a spot, and lo and behold, as I'm getting ready to do my business, there's a mama goat and two little baby goats who are like very, very interested in what I'm doing. It was very awkward. It was before we knew that a man was killed in Olympic National Park by a mountain goat, so I was probably not as afraid as I should have been. But it was very startling to have these large animals like show up while I was in the middle of a private moment and be very interested in what I was producing. I will also say I was recently in Canyonlands National Park, and there's really similar recommendations. Pee on rocks, don't pee on the dirt. And there it's to save the biological soil crusts. I think in the alpine areas, it's more about other vegetation that gets dug up by the mountain goats. But anyways, it was definitely an experience I won't forget. Mountain goats are really incredible. They're a North American specialty, and they're really amazing, but they are scary, and they're obsessed with your pee. All right. Have a great one, you guys.
Okay. A great story. I do feel like he's doing some pro-goat propaganda there, which I don't support. But
Interesting.
I had this thought of when you take your dog to dog training, and then you have to charge the clicker, that little clicker that they give you, and you click treat. So they know every time you hit the clicker, they get a treat. And then that's how you start to teach them how to like sit and whatever. And then you click and you give them the treat. And I just had this thought, that the clicker for a mountain goat is the sound of a man unzipping his pants. Like those baby goats heard a zzz, and they went boing, treat. Like they were fucking locked in. And like that's what goes on in the goat families.
Yeah.
Nasty.
They're indoctrinating the goat children.
They're indoctrinating the cats. They're indoctrinating the dogs.
I feel like Tyler zoomed over this kind of fast, but I want to just reiterate that in the national parks here or in the mountains, I don't know if it's everywhere, but I guess there are signs that tell you if you have to pee on a rock and not in the dirt, because the goats will come like dig up the whole trail trying to eat the pee dirt.
Eat the piss.
Whereas if you pee
What
on
is
the rock,
up with these guys?
dude, they're
My God.
that's your house. Whereas if
Jesus.
you pee on the rock, they can just lick the rock, I guess.
Oof.
It just makes you wonder, how did
It
these
does
creatures
make you wonder.
survive? Because now I'm hearing it's happening in the enchantments. Okay, because originally we're like, the story I was told is that there's not enough natural salt deposits in the Olympics. But now, I'm sorry, now we're doing it in the Cascades. The deer are doing it. Sorry.
Is there something that humans are doing to eliminate salt from the ecosystem that is causing the goats to go insane, and maybe the deer as well? And then like, where are the chipmunks in this? Are they involved? How far does this go?
I want to say what we usually say, which is, if you know how far this goes.
And yet we can't do this another week.
We can't.
I'm so upset. I'm so upset. I'm disturbed.
Also, do we know if they got them all? Like, are there still?
How could you have?
How could you have?
How could you've?
Megan?
There's got to be one or two.
There's got to be one or two, and I'm gonna find them.
Well, don't worry, because he's on your ass as we speak. He'll find you.
And that's Goat Update.
That's Piss Freak, goats, update. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, TikTok digest, as they say in England. And we're back. I've had this TikTok digest on my mind for a while. And then as I was thinking about one of the TikTok digests, I started getting inundated with a different TikTok thing, and then I couldn't decide which one to talk about. I know technically I could talk about them both, but it's Friday and I'm getting sweaty in my house. So I asked the listeners, weigh in, let me know. Do you want to hear about TikTok digest, potluck/religious psychosis? Or do you want to hear about TikTok digest, marbles? And actually, I feel like it was pretty close. But I think by a slight margin, TikTok digest, potluck/religious psychosis has won. So that is what we're going to talk about today.
That's fair.
As I've already mentioned on this show, I spend a big chunk of my time, baby, scrolling. Oh, I love to scroll. And this is relevant for what we're going to talk about after this, which is I no longer have a day job, by the way. Not because the podcast is so successful that I was able to quit, but because my contract ended. So now all I do is watch World Cup and scroll, and it's getting dicey. There are times where I feel like I've reached the end of TikTok because it starts showing me stuff that only teenagers understand. Like, and by teenagers, I mean like 13-year-olds. I start getting like served like a 13-year-old boy's algorithm, and I'm like, oh God. So, and you can always tell because it's not anything. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has 1 million likes and it's not anything. Yeah. And you're like, okay. I should probably close out of this app. maybe go for a hike and see if I can find a goat. You know what I mean? But back in or earlier this year and like at the end of last year, I started getting served these videos from this woman whose username was like Shay for Forever. Instantly, I just loved her videos. They're so, so funny. And her bit, and I never got tired of her bit, which was that she would find videos of mostly white people bringing food to potlucks, and then she would rank what they brought to the potluck. Except she had a unique twist on this, which is like she was a judge and she was sentencing the potluck bringers to a sentence, either good or bad, right? Also, I think she's Jamaican, so she uses a lot of like, Britishism. So she calls people darling, like things like that. So she was just like a fun follow. And her videos were always really funny. And so the videos would always be like, hi, I'm Carol, and I brought the yams. And poor Caucasian Carol would have brought just a pile of unseasoned, boiled yams.
Yeah.
And then the judge would go, death row! Death row! And then she started giving people like medieval torture punishments, like the braising bull for you and your Uber driver. So like everybody was getting involved. Everybody was getting the rack. But then like the flip of it was if somebody brought something really good, like really well seasoned, like chicken wings or something, or like really gooey looking macaroni and cheese, she'd be like, the keys to the city, darling. And King Charles will build 10 statues in your honor. And she had like a set of rules that I think were like really good for potlucks. Like if you bring drinks, you bring the ice. Like don't just bring 3 bottles of Mountain Dew. You have to bring ice also, or like refrigerate it first. Cause like, you don't know what's going on at this party. Like don't bring room temperature soda to a potluck. Some people would be like, oh, I'm Jeff and I brought the cookies, all store bought.
Yeah.
Now, it's fine if you want to buy something and bring to a potluck, but don't try to take credit for having like really contributed. Do you know what I mean? So if somebody would like bring something store bought, she'd be like, it looks good, but we are watching you. I'm not going to send you to jail. I'm not going to make you walk the plank. I'm not giving you the brazen bowl or the rack.
Yeah.
But next time, she'd always say, did you make it? But did you make it? So I really feel like she really brought up the quality of our nation's potluck.
Yeah.
And then over the course of time, I noticed she started posting like religious videos, but to be honest, I didn't really think that much of it because I was just like, I'm not really getting served those. And people are allowed to be Christian if they want. Like if she reads the Bible, that's none of my business.
I've heard that.
Many people say that if you want to be Christian, you're allowed. Some people say that there's a foundational document that says, knock yourself out.
Some people say that if you don't want to be Christian, sorry, you have to.
Many say freedom to. Many also say freedom from. Who could say? Anyway, so she starts posting like Bible verses and stuff. And I'm like, whatever. Doesn't have anything to do with me. We're still sending people to the electric chair for bringing boiled chicken breast. So I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Right. Yeah. Then like 2 months ago, out of fucking nowhere, this bitch logs on and says, God spoke to me in a dream. And he said that trans people are hellspawn or something, and gay people are also bad, and I must live my life by the words of Christ and become a transphobe / homophobe now. I will no longer be doing potluck content, and all of you are going to hell. And I was like, oh. I said, ma'am? Ma'am? What? I said, 1 second you're sending my Uber driver to the chair. Next thing I know, you're going after kids who want to play soccer? What?
Last night I had a dream that comedian Caleb Heron crept into my house and stole my PS5.
And you know what that means.
I'm calling the cops immediately. Anything that happens in a dream is true. And we should enact policies based on that.
I guess this is not surprising, but she was like, he chose me because of this big following that I've developed because of my potluck judging content. And God looked at that and said, she is my vessel.
Because of the TikTok.
I must speak through her as the potluck whisperer. And somehow this insane hard right swerve into a wall is going to By the way, she has like 1 million followers.
Right.
Okay. And she's like, I don't care how many followers I lose. I have to speak my truth. And I was like, baby,
well,
speak it to who? Everyone's gone.
Yeah.
Everybody left. Everybody took one look at this video and said, jail for you and your Uber driver and the prosecutor and the defense lawyer. They're all getting it. Every fingernail removed is what they said. It was crazy. It was just so crazy. Just this insane shift from like,
dude,
you can't just bring a bag of Lay's to a potluck to you will burn in hell for for the way that you live your life. It was crazy.
I don't know where I come down on this. The fact that in these times we have too much access to people's inner thoughts.
I know.
Like sometimes you could just buy a bagel and not know what the bagel man thinks.
That the bagel man was having visions from God at night.
Why do I have to know so much about everyone?
Well,
when Twitter started and then brands would start to have Twitter and then sometimes they'd be like,
and you're like, Entenmann's why? It's just like, like Entenmann's log off. No. You know what's kind of interesting about this is that like that supposedly that's what Republicans wanted. Like Rand Paul is on the record that he wants to get rid of the Civil Rights Act. He wants to overturn it. And I don't actually think he believes this, but his justification is, well, the market will take care of it. If there is a business that discriminates against people based on race or religion or whatever, all the things that the Civil Rights Act covers, then everyone will find out and people will stop going there. So the market just won't support this racist business. And so that has been the right-wing talking point about the Civil Rights Act before they realized they could just get the Supreme Court to get rid of all of our civil rights, It turns out you can be very richly rewarded for being a racist psychopath who owns a business, as we have seen over the last 10 years. But interestingly enough, this was what they said they wanted, was for everyone to be open about their psychotic views. And then we as consumers get to decide whether or not we want to support those businesses. Of course, a lot of people on the left don't want to support a business that gives a bunch of money to like insurrectionists and our psychotic president. Or like, we don't want to support businesses who supported the president in tearing down the White House to rebuild a golden toilet in the East Wing instead, right?
Right.
And so then when we do that, when we boycott, when folks on the left boycott, all of a sudden that's a problem too, right? So it's very interesting that they say like that these hyper religious right wingers have argued for decades since the passage of the Civil Rights Act that we don't need it because there are other ways that you can like enforce or that you can punish people for having bigoted views. And then it's like, but I don't want to listen to that. And then somehow I live in a bubble because I don't want to listen to that.
Yeah.
I live in a bubble because the lady who does the judgmental potluck videos claims she's getting visions from God.
And I'm not saying that I want everything to be swept under the rug and I want to be able to ignore people's evil, destructive politics and just live my little life. But I like shopping at Hobby Lobby or whatever. I'm not saying
people really forgot about Hobby Lobby's whole deal.
I know.
By the way. You got to stop going there, guys. Michael's is right there.
I'm not even saying that. I'm just like,
well, I think that the reason that this is happening is because a certain subset of people have been emboldened to share their psychotic views. Just like you, I don't want to whitewash the past and I don't want to suggest that somehow we lived in some sort of utopia in the 90s.
Sure.
But I do feel like people are more emboldened now, maybe since like the Jim Crow era, to be very outwardly loathsome in their views because like they want to pick fights with people. So I don't know. I don't think that this is what the potluck lady is doing. Okay. Yeah. But it is just, you spend enough time scrolling. Next thing you know, the comedians are getting religious visions from the Lord.
Yeah.
And you realize I gotta log off this app.
Lil Bub did January 6th.
I know. It's like, God.
Okay.
It literally is like Jay Johnston was at January 6th. And you're like, what?
I had to unfollow, I would say, 3 to 5 accounts that were just like cute little accounts that I followed that did something to do with cooking or fashion or because after they got Charlie Kirk. Because there were tears, there was sanctimony happening.
There was a lot of people posting that shit that was like, we're better than this. And I was like, no, I'm not.
Nope. Bye. Yeah. And so I guess
hell fucking no.
I don't really mean it when I say I wish I knew less, because I wish I knew more, because I'm not one of these people who believes that there's some line between political and not political.
Yeah. I think we've been very clear on this show that we don't think that.
I guess I'm just tired, Meagan.
I think what you're talking about is this like emboldening of the world's worst people. It just feels like you could get got at any time. I think it felt less like you could get got at any time in the past. You could sort of self-select people in your life and be relatively certain that you shared some common values. And then these days you're like, now why does the lady who reviews marinara sauce from Trader Joe's at Charlie Kirk's funeral?
Right.
The fuck? Hey, what? What are you talking about?
It's so irritating when people are outraged by, you say your horrific thing that you know is controversial, and then you're mad that people have a reaction. There's a thing that happened at Trump's incredible state fair.
Millions have attended.
Yes, the national.
It definitely doesn't sound like an empty basketball arena. Squeak, 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 squeak.
Meagan, you got to go down there, by the way.
I actually do. I was going to go today, but they had to close it because it's too hot, and all 2 people that were in attendance had to leave.
Oh
no! Really
sad. Yeah. But there's some lady whose name is like Judy the Pancake Lady or something. Who has some pancake restaurant that people love, and she, I think, makes charming social media videos. And then she posted all these pictures of her at the sesquicentennial state fair selling pancakes and like holding hands with JD Vance or something. And then everyone was like, Judy, what? Why? What are you doing?
Why would you say that?
And then there's that backlash where it's like, oh, so Judy's not allowed to celebrate America?
No, she's not. No,
not when they made it a partisan event.
They made it bad. Fuck off.
No.
You want to hear about marbles?
Sure.
You want to hear about marbles?
Is this a jumbo episode? I love it.
Yeah, it's a jumbo episode.
All right.
Listen. Okay, so set aside the religious psychosis potluck lady. Here's another thing that's been happening, and this is sort of related to the idea that you can at some point get to the end of TikTok, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I start getting served these videos that are just, I don't know how else to describe it, marble races, where like a guy has created some sort of enormous, like sort of Rube Goldberg device, and then he puts like 4 marbles on the track and he races the marbles. And at the beginning of the video, it says pick a color. Okay.
Oh boy.
And I do faithfully. I don't look at the comments first. I just go based on like, okay, I feel like blue has a good chance today. I like the look of blue. He looked great in the qualifiers. I'm going with blue.
Yeah.
Okay. I watched one of these videos. I did not interact with it in any way. I didn't like it. I didn't comment.
Did you hear about the allegations?
Against Blue Marble?
Yeah.
Damn. They got him too?
Yeah.
He was at America's State Fair with Judy. Flipping cakes.
Yep.
Holding hands with John David. Anyway, so I pick blue, right? And blue loses. Okay. And I was like, well, that was annoying. I scroll on. Over the course of an hour, maybe I get 10 fucking marble race videos. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But then all of a sudden I find myself being like, okay, orange. Sure, we'll see what happens with orange. Now I'm getting invested in these fucking things. Okay. And by the way, none of my marbles win. And I said, what's happening? I was like, this is fucking fixed.
What?
Okay. And I would like to say something about these marble races. Okay. So it starts out relatively normal. It's sort of like a Hot Wheels track, I guess. There's like one French guy who does them. And I guess people realize that his videos are popping off because now people are 3D printing marble tracks and like live streaming these fucking things. It's, at least where I'm at online, it's a scourge. Okay. But the original guy with the wood tracks, it starts out pretty normal. There's like the wooden little slide. The marbles are rolling. He's got like a wavy track. And so sometimes they slow down in the wave. Then here's where your fate is decided. Okay. The marbles get to the end of the little wavy slide. They get bonked down into what I can only describe as a marble drain. Okay. They circle the drain and then they fall into a little hole. You could be number one at the race at this point. It doesn't matter. You will get got by the drain. Blue is ahead by maybe 1 to 2 seconds.
Okay.
All of a sudden, orange pops down from the slide immediately into the hole. Now orange is gone, okay, down the stretch, and blue is still I'm like, hello? Go down the drain. I'm getting so agitated, okay? The other day, Lindy, I was watching one of these fucking marble videos, dude, and he's got all these little obstacles that he makes out of like styrofoam and like straws and stuff, and so they bounce, sort of like pinball, kind of like bounce off these things.
Yeah.
I picked green, okay? Green hits one of the barriers and gets stuck and stops. And every marble rolls past it. Green, disqualified. I literally was watching this on my phone and I went, ah! Ah! Like, I was so mad. I was like, what is going on here? And so I watched maybe 30 of these and did not win a single race. Okay, like I'm not even joking. I watched easily 30 of them.
Rigged.
Right? I finally won one. You should have seen me. I threw my phone down on my bed and I went, yes! I was so happy that I won. And then at the same time was thinking, I feel like my phone is trying to diagnose me with something.
Oh.
Okay. You know what I mean?
What's that?
Yeah, I have it.
What?
Whatever neuron has diverged
Sure.
in here to make me care about what goes on with these marbles.
Yeah.
You got me, gal.
You lost your marbles.
But I gained one.
You gained.
I lost 12, but gained one marble. You see,
it really seems like the commissioner of marble needs to convene the board and bare minimum outlaw the drain. The drain is not fair.
The drain, girl, I can't even tell you. It's the great equalizer.
It's like the golden snitch. It's too overpowered.
Because what's the point of the rest of the game?
What's the point of the rest of the fucking game?
If the drain is 150 points. Hello?
And this podcast does not endorse the playing or the thinking about of Quidditch, but
still,
sometimes
it's valuable.
It's relevant.
I just wanted to share the marble thing. It's been driving me insane.
Your victory didn't free you from the shackles of marble.
Big marble? No.
Yeah.
I'm still in the shits. Big time.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's bad.
Do you ever get served domino content?
I don't. It's like all just marbles.
Okay. Because there's some great domino stuff out there.
I love more than when a domino knocks down another domino.
People are putting in work in the domino field. Well, thank you for telling me about that, Meagan.
You're welcome. Let us know what you're getting diagnosed with on TikTok.
What are yours?
What are your diagnoses? 703-829-0003. deartextmeback@gmail.com. Let us know what you're watching. And if you've gone mad because of visions you've received from God. We're going to take a break. We're going to end the show with a new segment we're calling Agatha Christie. Well, I'd like to share something now. As I mentioned, I no longer have a day job. My last day of day job was on June 30th, which was also the last day of the Supreme Court term. It fucking sucked balls, and not in a good way, because they waited till the very end to release all of their worst decisions. So it was like, eat shit, trans people. Fuck you, immigrants. Like it just was just an onslaught of shit. And that was like my last day of work. And then you texted me something like, hey, Meagan, guess what? No punctuation, which is really rare for you. You're a real fan of the exclamation point, you know?
Yeah.
I did monocle emoji because I was like,
I love when I can get you to do a monocle emoji.
I know. I'm like, I need a clue. What's happening? And for people who are Patreon subscribers who turned into our After Dark, we were talking about a little television program called Hoarders. Probably the only show that I actively feel bad watching. Am I going to stop? No. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
For some reason, I've plunged into a Hoardessance, and I've been watching and watching and watching and watching and watching.
Yeah, there's some favorite participants, like everybody loves Dr. Robin Zazio.
Yeah.
There's, of course, extreme cleaning specialist Mac Paxton. Who doesn't love Dorothy? But then, of course, everyone's favorite extreme cleaning specialist is a young man by the name of Corey Chalmers. So I get a text message from Lindy that says, hey, Meagan, guess what? I say monocle emoji, and she sends me this.
Hey, Meagan, Corey Chalmers here from the Hoarders TV show. There's a rooster behind me. Sorry about that. He might talk a little bit more. I was advised that you are retiring from the world of politics, and I won't even get into that, but I don't know that I could have a life in politics these days. It would be a little bit too crazy, so I don't blame you at all. I do hope you have just something that fuels you, something that is important to you that you can do in the future. Sometimes we have to stumble a little bit before we find what that is, but I am sure you will do just great in whatever that career choice is next. So obviously you're a Hoarders fan, so I mean, you got to be a good person, right? Because all of our fans are good people. So I'm sure you have some skills, some knowledge, and personality that'll take you very far in whatever that next chapter is. So don't stress, and if you want to get into extreme cleaning, look me up. I might have something for you. In all honesty, I wish you the best of luck, Meagan, with whatever your future does hold. I'm sure you'll do just great, and you can thank your good friend Lindy for this, because she's the one that reached out and said you needed a little bit of pep talk in this next chapter, so go get him and make us all proud. Take care, Meagan. Best of luck to you.
I'm just, out here trying to make Corey Chalmers proud. Also, I think he offered me a job. So I think we're good.
I know you've been a little anxious about what are you going to do next. You're welcome.
I'm going to have to update my resume for the first time in 5 years. What am I going to do?
No problem.
And now I don't even have to do that. I'll just call Corey Chalmers.
That's right.
But don't let Corey Chalmers see the state of my bathroom. It's a fucking disaster. Anyway, so I was cracking up at this. I was absolutely hooting and hollering at this video. It's so funny. I think it's one of your best,
Thanks.
Honestly.
My best
it's real
ideas.
Yeah. In the history of every idea you've ever had, this is definitely in the top 3. So I'm loving it. I'm cracking up. I love Corey Chalmers. I'm like, yeah, what does get me going? Watching Corey Chalmers fucking army crawl through hantavirus to save that grandma's life. I love that shit. Anyway, so I'm like, you and I are just having an absolute laugh over how good this video turned out. Of course, you had asked him to say something weird, and then he didn't. You had been like, oh, could you tell her that you're really proud of her for eating pickles and loose corn? And he was like, no.
I'm not saying that. Nope.
I'm not saying that.
Nope.
But you have a rich history of making people write weird stuff on cards. But anyway, so coincidentally, that same day, a bouquet of flowers was delivered to my apartment building, but the name on the card was Catrice. My building's very small. I know everybody who lives here, and there's nobody in my building named Catrice. But I did my due diligence. I brought them inside because it's like 100 degrees out this week in DC. And I was texting everybody in the building to say, like, were you expecting flowers addressed to this person? I looked at the card because I thought, well, maybe the actual address is somewhere on the card. So I opened it up, and inside it says, from your secret admirer. Now, I find that creepy, but other people's calibration for romantic overtures might be different. So I was like, try to think of like a normal person and think, you don't want to stand in the way of true love. Let's try to get this lady her flowers back, right? So I tried to call the florist and nobody answered, but it wasn't like a normal voicemail. Like it was weird. Like it said something like, this number isn't available right now. Like it kind of suggested that the number had been shut off. And I was like, this is really strange. But
This
I
was
tried to call like
their last bouquet they did, and then they
and I was like, you sent
fled?
a homicide bouquet and then shut down the whole flower shop. Okay. And I even Googled the woman's full name. Her full name is on the card, and I couldn't find anything about this person online. And then I tried it again the next day during normal business hours, according to their website, and nobody picked up. But this time I did get a voicemail. So I left a voicemail and I was like, hey, this is my name. I live at this address. We got flowers delivered here to a person who doesn't live here. There's nobody in the building by this name. I have the flowers with me, if you want to come get them, let me know. I'll be home all day, or I can give them back to you so you can have them. And then I'm sitting here, I'm just trying to think, like, how did this happen? And my best theory was that somebody had sent flowers to the buggy lady, who has almost the same address as me, but like a different street. But I don't know for sure what her name is, and I have no way to contact her.
She does not want to hear from you again.
She does not want to hear from me. So I was like, if she is Catrice, there's like kind of nothing I can do about this, right?
Or what if someone has seen you on the street, is secretly admiring you, and for some reason got bad information that your name is Catrice?
Nothing I can do about that. I guess I'm getting free flowers. And the florist never called me back. I left a message. I was like telling my friends about it. I was like, this weird thing happened. I don't know what's going on with these flowers. It's so strange. Lovely bouquet, by the way. Then I've been embroiled in this mystery easily 10 hours. You text me and say, oh, by the way, did you get the flowers I sent? And I get your text and I burst out laughing. And then my mind just starts whirring because I'm like, did she address, is like Catrice, is this Catrice person like a reference I don't remember from high school or something? Because writing from your secret admirer in a creepy way is something I feel like you would do. Like that is in the realm of like weird cards you make people write. And then I was just like, no, I think I just got they just delivered the wrong flowers to my house. So then I started explaining it all I was like, Lindy, I have been embroiled in a floral-based mystery all day. And you just, for like, at that point, it had been 2 days.
Yeah.
Because this was the day later.
Because I kind of forgot. And then I was like, wait, I sent flowers. Oh, yeah. I was so excited by Corey Chalmers that I forgot. Yeah. I forgot about the other part of the present.
And so then you're like, so I'm telling you this whole story. You're dying laughing over text. Because I had even joked, like, I can't believe you didn't get Corey Chalmers to say some shit like, congrats, Meagan, you don't have to clean out Clarence Thomas's diaper anymore. Love, Lindy, or like some shit like that. Turns out that you did send me flowers from the same florist. They delivered the wrong flowers to me, and they delivered my flowers to Catrice.
Presumably.
And presumably. And the note that you put on the flowers to me was, you've heard of Day Job LLC. Now it's time for Lay Slob Watch TV. So out there in the District of Columbia is a woman named Catrice who has received that from New York Times bestselling author Lindy West and said, goodbye. She called 911 immediately. And I said, this is like Murder on the Orient Express. Everybody's guilty. Everybody's guilty.
Okay, so a couple of things. What? I can't believe that happened. That's so funny. Okay, so first of all, I almost had it say more like gay slob watch TV. And then I was like, no, I don't think the florist if the florist rejects it?
This is not the first time you've ordered from this specific florist who handwrites the notes and made her write something insane. So at least you were like, let me moderate this just a little bit.
So imagine if Catrice had gotten gay slob watch.
Gay Slob TV. She would have been like, Human Rights Commission? Hello?
Meanwhile, Catrice's secret admirer is out here freaking up a creek without a paddle.
If you sent flowers to Catrice, I want you to know I tried. I tried to contact the florist and be like, I don't want to stand in the way of whatever's going on there, but
I just don't know what Catrice would think.
If you're Catrice, will you let us know? 703-829-0003. I'm desperate to meet her. Desperate, absolutely desperate.
Because I don't think I put like Dear Meagan, and
it doesn't have your name on it. Yeah.
So, and I didn't say from Lindy because I knew you would know because we're the ones that say Day Job LLC, and
yeah, right.
And that's why I was confused. I was like, there's no way she would think that they're from anyone else. So and I thought so. I was like, oh, they must have gotten stolen off of your stoop.
No, but that's why I brought them in the first place because I was afraid because it was very hot and I was afraid that they would get stolen. But I just was like, how did this happen? And then it was like, aha! it was a cross-continental mystery kicked off by Lindy West.
Poor Catrice. Now Catrice had to receive flowers and then she had to get excited about the flowers, and then she opened up the note and it said, "You've heard of Day Job LLC." now it's time for Lay Slob Watch TV.
And then she said, "I work." She said, "I contribute to society. What is this?
What is this?"
Anyways, it cracked me up. It's been cracking me up for days.
And now she's gonna be single for what if we've stood in the way of a grand romance?
I know. Well, it's not my fault. It's Flowers by Redacted's fault.
That's true.
She's the one who did
also, is she? Can we call in a welfare check on her?
Yeah, she good. What happened at the flower shop? What's going on down there?
Hello. So
anyway,
yeah, I laughed so hard because it's just so funny that it's already a meme with us that I like to send you flowers with a psychotic card.
Yeah.
And then it combines it with your buggies being delivered to the wrong lady.
Mm-hmm.
The Corey Chalmers of it all adds a delicious flavor. The fact that Corey Chalmers read the phrase loose corn and, as you pointed out, thought that's got to be a white supremacist dog whistle. I'm not saying it. That's entrapment.
Nah, I feel like this came from Stormfront. I'm not saying this.
Oh my God. I mean, the whole, like, me sitting at the computer, trying to guess who is Megan's favorite extreme cleaning expert. Are you a Chalmers girl? Are you a Matt Paxton girl? Or are you a Dorothy girl? I
love
know.
Chalmers. I mean, obviously, like, Dorothy is the queen of everybody's hearts.
Yes.
But Chalmers, man. Just the best.
Yeah, thanks to Chalmers for executing that gorgeous, and to Corey Chalmers' rooster. And
yes, bow hen yang.
Yes. And to relate it back to our previous segment, parentheses, religious psychosis, Corey, please never tell me who you voted for.
Corey, I'm not interested.
I don't want to know about your politics at all.
I will not be searching for your name in the FEC disclosure database, which I actually do pretty frequently with celebrities. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed today's program. Give us a call, 703-829-0003. If you would like to support me during these dark days of being retired, you don't have to. Everything's fine. I'm not in any sort of trouble. It's fine. But if you want to support the podcast, patreon.com/textmebackpurd.
Megan,
you can support us there.
Oh, by the way, I did not tell Corey that you were retiring from politics.
Yeah. Yeah, for the record, I'm not retired. I do still have to work for money. I just don't have to work for money for a little bit.
Well, and you may well almost certainly will get another job in the same field. I just said you were leaving a politics job. Corey,
he projected that I was retiring, and I would like to embrace that projection.
I think as an alternative, if you do want to retire from politics, it's right there. Marble videos.
I will 3D print a marble track. The thing about it is this. I've never once in my life placed a bet on anything, nor have I ever had any interest in placing a bet on anything.
Yeah.
The most I've ever done is like that we had a work pool for the World Cup in 2014, and I won and nobody paid me. So fuck you. Still, I'm mad about it. But something about these marble videos makes me like want to go down to the track and like wave a paper, you know, at my marble.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, they do it like the cockfights and they're always like, rah, 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 rah. I want to do that, but with a marble.
Maybe that's
bad. Are the marble races on Kalshi?
Megan's next act, live marble races.
Let us know if you'd be interested. Patreon.com/textmebackpod. Support my new gambling addiction. It's marble based. Get involved with that.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
And then when you really get when your house gets fully floor to ceiling hoarded out with marbles, then Corey can come save you.
He's gonna open the door. 10,000 marbles gonna fall out right in his face. It's like gonna be like that episode where Robin didn't even see the person because she had like hoarded herself into bed. That's gonna be me, except marbles, like just my face sticking out of 85 billion marbles.
I'm pleased to report also that it seems that the therapists are real therapists because they are not available on Cameo. You cannot book Dr. Robin Zazio, and I assume that's because they have to have.
She said I
boundaries.
have professional ethics, and I will not be doing that.
Yeah.
Although Robin Zazio could clean up. Speaking of people I will not be looking up on the FEC donor database, Dr. Robin Zazio, love you, babe, but I think you might be up to something weird in your free time. Anyways, thanks for listening to the program. We're gonna go now. We'll see you next week.